Hello and welcome to YEN TV. My name is Philip Abutiati. Today on the show, we are discussing education in Ghana, and there are a lot of questions when the issue of education is raised. And so I'll be interacting with some students of the University of Ghana to share their thoughts with me with regards to the challenges and what can be done to help the educational system or to help improve the educational system in Ghana. But before that, remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on social media. Let's talk about the Ghanaian educational system. What have you noticed are some of the challenges?
The first thing to tackle right now is what do our kids really want to do? What do the kids from their homes really want to study? Why are parents forcing it on their kids to do what they don't intend on doing? Right now, as of now, there's a mass failure in the law school. I have a friend who never wanted to do law. Then because his dad is a lawyer, he was forced to do law because never say I should do law. Right now, he's also part of those who has actually not done well in the law school. Okay, when you go to outside, parents actually have that daughter, mother, son, father conversation to as to what I want to do. The society helps. They create games or activities that bring out the talent and then that inborn trait of the child. Some kids want to do art, some want to do music, some want to be fashionistas, some want to do decoration. But our parents think the white collar jobs are better than what they want to do. My mom, for instance, wanted me to be a doctor, and I said no, never would I be that. I love talking, so I want to be a journalist or a mass communicator. So I think our leaders, our teachers, everyone who has to put some kind of energy into our educational system is rather failing us by supporting us, by putting their energy towards the right direction, asking us what we really want to do. Some of them go to teacher training schools because that's what's available, but they don't even have the passion for the job. There can be a child in that particular class that has a problem, that has something on their mind. That is not what I want to do, or I want to do this, but I'm not finding the right help from my teachers. The teachers don't even ask their kids who is finding difficult to understand something. If he's done with the subject, he's done. Some of the kids can't even find the courage and the boldness to go to the teacher and tell him or her that, please, I didn't understand what you said, because the teacher is going to be so hard on the child. Wabon, utiewu. That dent on the person's personality, and he say, utiewu no, is very demeaning to the child. So first of all, I won't even go. Let's all pass, copy, and then pass, or let me just dab into my mind, go to the exam hall, and then write, and then I'm done. No practicals or anything for me to learn. If this is what they are saying it is, this is how it's supposed to be done. No one does that for us, and it's very bad. So that's what I think.
So I think in as much as there are strides to improve the facilities in our various schools, the number of people having access to quality education, there's still a long way to go, in the sense that our Ghanaian system is not potential centered, in the sense that you realize your potential and it's focused on when you get to the tertiary level. Yes, but in other countries in the Western world, they harness your opportunities right from the infancy, and then train you to become the best in the various particular field.
How like put it? The practical aspect, because if you just have to, let's say ICT in senior high school, we just had, okay, so do this. You have to write it as an exam. But where was the practical aspect? We come to university. Some of us, a lot of us don't know this. Most people don't know how to even copy and paste something. So, and I also want to speak about the fact that SHS is changing. Let's say with a double track and all. I feel that now it's not as it used to be. We had like 4 years or 3.5 years or 2.5, and we're not able to even finish the syllabus. And now that you have to go and come, I feel that it's like we're playing with the education system, and I think that education is like the bedrock for development. If we do that to the youth now, who are supposed to be the future of the country, I don't see a bright future for Ghana if we do not take education seriously.
The Ghanaian educational system is the best one. We have good lecturers, we have good teachers, but the only problem is the practical aspect. Okay, so you realize that we go to school a lot. You go for class in the morning, you have extra classes. After extra classes, you have a teacher who comes home to come and teach you the same thing that you were taught in class. After that, after the whole semester or a term, you have another vacation classes again. But I realize that there's no practical aspect aspect of the what we are learning. So when we go on the job market, we don't know what to do. So right now, let's take university for example. I'm in GIG, I'm doing journalism, but what I've learned from universe, that's what I'm going to do on the market, like on the job market. But in GIG, they are teaching me theories. Who brought communication? Who brought this? Who brought that? But that's not what's going to help me. That's not what is going to teach me how to write stories and then do interviews and all those things. So I feel if we bring the practical aspect, we'll be able to match the international standards too. Yeah.
You know, the world is developing at a very fast rate, and now technology has become, should I say, the ish. And then you find out that when you go to school, even basic IT tools for you to learn are not available. You only go take the book, go through the books, and then that's quite about it. And then students lack soft skills. We only go to school, learn theory, no practical, nothing. There's no simulation, no role play, nothing at all happens in the classroom. And then you just go back home, you go chill, pour pass, and then you forget. So sometimes you hear complaints that Ghanaian students are not employable. And these are some of the reasons. I mean, we go to school, we don't learn we do learn, but then there's nothing that we can't apply what we learn. So this brings a very huge gap between academia and then industry. You know, but then the recent although there are reforms and all that, you are yet to see how these reforms will actually impact on the system. But for now, it's not really much to write home about.
The Ghanaian education meets the requirements at least. If basically the motive for education is to help broaden our minds and strengthen our intellect, then obviously that's fine. But I think personally, if you ask my view, I feel that the Ghanaian education it doesn't really meet the standard, because I've had a chance to look at that of other countries that even surround Ghana, and you realize that they go straight to the point. So for example, if I want to study sociology or law, I have bits of that in the at the high school level. Yes, and so I think that in as much as the Ghanaian education is seen as one of the finest in the sub-region, I think that we should move on to the specifics quite early, because there's a lot of delay in from the basic level up to the SHS level. I think that what we do in the SHS level, we should have bits of what we are going to do in the tertiary level as well in it, so that before students get there, it's like you know exactly what you want to do, and then you enter into it. Because we have cases where most of us come here and we now have to sift through to struggle to see what exactly we want to do. So you get people doing courses that they did not really want, though they selected. Yes, and so I think for me that's my basic issue.
Okay, so talking about the quality of education in Ghana, although I know that compared to other countries we are doing better, but then personally I don't think it's the best. We can even talk about practicability. It's not so practical. Sometimes you just be in the class and then learn. When you go out and then you see like what you are learning in reality is something that you don't even like, you have no idea about. It's just about theory. Just imagine let me even use our basic schools for example, where you'll be taught ICT, you don't even know what a computer is. Let's not just look at Accra in general, because if you go outside Accra, things are happening. There are schools where there are no computers and all of those things, and a teacher has to draw a mouse, draw a keyboard on a blackboard. You don't even know what it is like. So when you go to the real world, it's very difficult for you to adjust and understand all of these things. Even aside that, let's look at our educational system. It's more like tutoring. So a lecturer or a teacher comes and the person has to just tell you, and then you just have to agree to what he's saying, and then you think like you've learned. They should allow us to explore. It's not more like we are not allowed to explore. You see, when I don't want to compare our educational system to outside, but then when you go out, when you look at their kindergartens and all of that, children are allowed to explore. You know, a Ghanaian child, when you go to school and then you come back and let's say your uniform is dirty, they go like, okay, why this? But then the child, in the process of exploring, you have to go through all of these things. But then we are stifled right from the beginning. So I think it's not helping. We have to, be creative. We have to improve our educational system. And then when you look at it, a lecturer will come to the class and then just, have to tell you what he has for you. And then you don't challenge his ideas. We feel like what the lecturer is saying is the final thing. Like Ghanaian students, or let me say our educational system does not give us that much chance to challenge our lecturers. A lecturer can come to the class and then teach theories. Theories is someone's theory, but then maybe if you have a different idea, let me say we lack that critical thinking and all of that, and it's not really helping. So I think we should try and improve our educational system, practicability, how to explore and all of that. I think all angles we are really lacking, so we really need to do well. Government
government need to come on board to change our educational system to meet the criteria required outside the school world.